Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Hope everybody had a great weekend, and look, and hope you all have a great week going ahead. We're gonna go ahead and jump into this week's review of Naruto, starting with Naruto from Weekly Shonen Jump, and this is number 635, and the title is A New Wind. Now, with this one, we have three main parts for this chapter. The beginning, in which Orochimaru, Karen, and Suigetsu, they show up and they arrive and help with the healing of Tsunade, and that in turn helps the rest of the healing with the other Hokages. And we go back to the and they have, and there's also a conversation there as well. And we go to the back to the main battlefield. And we do see that the Jubi does tear the flaming part of his body off. And with that also, Naruto wants to save the other Bijuu. Sasuke wanted to let it burn. And we see a very important thing with Sakura's facial expression matching size. So there's a correlation there in the very last page of this chapter, which everybody which everybody knows about, was Obito and Kakashi both impaling each other with attacks at the exact same time. So let's go into a little bit of the beginning here, in which we have some comedy with Suigetsu, Karen, and Orochimaru when they arrive, and Suigetsu's noting that the slugs are humongous, and he wonders how much salt it'll take to kill it. and and Suigetsu and Karen get into a little thing about, well, why would you say something like that? Well, that's a pretty normal thing. It's like, well, everybody who sees a slug doesn't want to use salt to kill it. And we see Orochimaru jump in, and he says, Lady Tsunade. And they're also another thing here, also noting that when they're looking at Tsunade, and who's that? That's Karen, says, I don't remember Hokage being a granny. And obviously that's due to her, her storing the chakra up, and which keeps her youthful appearance, makes her look much younger than she actually is. And once she expends all that chakra, it does ages her and takes a toll on her body. So, and what we have here, Orochimaru telling Katsuyu that he came here to aid the Gokage, which is Tsunade plus the other Hokage. And he tells Katsuyu that if you don't, he has no reason to lie. And if you don't, he said, you can go ahead and kill me with your acid. And and Katsuyu does charges up. She does charge up her acid, and says, okay, very well, I shall trust you. And he says, you are quite sensible, unlike Manda. Now then, they go ahead and begin the processing, diagnosing everything, and noting that the other Kages are underneath Tsunade and underneath Katsuyu, excuse me. And Katsuyu's fragments, because obviously they've all been heavily injured. Okay. And Katsuyu goes on to explain that I can only use my power in response to the strength of Lady Tsunade's 100 healings. Lady Tsunade is currently quite dilapidated, so I cannot muster adequate power myself. Okay. And Katsuyu also goes on, I'm trying to preserve and focus on the healing despite the summoning starting to unravel. Thus, I have been unable to fully reattach Lady Tsunade's body. So yes, her body was still in half. You know, the lower half of her body is away from her upper half of her body, and we just see all of the little fragments of Katsuyu, which are over those parts, and you know, keeping everything circulating and keeping everything functioning until it can be reattached. And Orochimaru go ahead and he tells Suigetsu to go ahead and reattach Tsunade, and you know, and also for Karen to let Tsunade bite her so that she can heal her, you know, using her special abilities with her chakra. And of course, you know, she goes on a thing about how she only wanted on the only person she wants to bite her is Sasuke. You know, and that's the thing there of Karen and Suigetsu, you know, Kamini and Orochimaru there, and you know they're talking about who's weirder. All three of them are weird in my opinion, but it's pretty funny there. Pretty good comedy scene. And Suigetsu reattaches her body, and Tsunade takes a bite. And what Karen is noticing, she's taking too much that I might age into a hag. Oh, okay, that's another funny part. So what we have here is Tsunade back together, complete again, and she sees Orochimaru, and they begin a conversation, and Tsunade's noting that I suppose you have changed a little, and Orochimaru goes on to say that people can and do change, or they die before they have a chance to. He passed away as is. And of course, and that's in reference to Jiraiya, which you see him in the background. And Tsunade goes on to say that Orochimaru, if you could just become like this sooner, Jiraiya might not be dead. And yet if I had, Jiraiya may have changed too. So, and Orochimaru goes on to say that just like it was with us Prodigal 3, things don't always quite go the way you want them to. We're not made of stone. Distortions will appear somewhere, excuse me. And what we see here is that Orochimaru is thinking about Sasuke, and when he goes on to say that perhaps that is why I want to observe Sasuke's future, while patiently waiting for his wind to blow. Okay, and so they go ahead and finish up that conversation there, and we go back to the battlefield, in which Sai is asking Sakura a question, and Naruto is saying that there are other Bijuu inside that Giganto one. Douse those black flames when it's weakened, then Kurama and I will pull those Bijuu out of it. And Sasuke's response to that is no, they all burn. And what Sasuke goes on in the next page is like, he says, I'm gonna put an end to this failing system currently in place, and then a new, and this is where it finishes off, because the Jubi, like I said, detached that part of the burning flames of Amaterasu from his body, and so it's no longer under the effect of the black flames. And so, and also with that, Naruto did make he was not pleased when Sasuke told him no, the look on his face, and also he's like, hey Sasuke, so we see right here an important thing, that while Sasuke, that why he wants everything to burn, he wants the current system in place. He wants to change. He definitely wants to change things, and he has his own vision for how things should be now. And of course, Naruto having, as everybody should remember, Naruto learning all of the names and becoming friends with all of the Bijuu. He definitely wants to save each and every one of them, and they're his new friend now, basically. So it's more than just preserving a system for like each country gets a tail beast or what have you. Those are his friends now, and Naruto's going to do everything he can to save each one and use them differently than they've been used. Well, I guess with the friendship, just different because the bottom line is they've always just been weapons, period. So Naruto is going to change all of that. And like I say, he's already taken the initial steps of becoming friends, learning their names, and learning a little bit of the history going back to the Sage Six past and how they were basically they were children, and now they're all adults, all the Bijuu. So he has that whole background. So that's more, like I say, that's his whole thing about wanting to save them all. They're his friends. And we go on to Sai. Sai goes on to explain that because I don't know him well, I can look at this impartially. Sasuke cannot be trusted to be a true comrade. What are your actual feelings on the matter, Sakura? And Sakura says, don't worry. Sasuke has come back to us. It makes me happy, and I do believe him. And Sai is noting that your words may not be lies, but I can already tell that your smile is fake. Now, what was important about this right here is that, obviously, you go back to when Sai was first introduced into as the new member for Team 7, with Sasuke being a missing ninja, and Sai coming from the roots. Another kind of like Anbu Black Ops. Roots was controlled by Danzo. And Sai basically that was how he learned to smile. So he gave that that exact look that Sakura is is making, that exact smile. And that was how he smiled. So and what he and what he's noting is that by looking at that exact facial expression that she's making, which goes back to him and how he made his his initial smiles and everything, because he was really he didn't grow up the majority of his life smiling, since he had to kill just going back with everything with his brother, and the whole nature of the roots of the in the ninja system. So yeah, that's Sakura has that face down to a T. I mean, she has it perfectly down. And what we also note is there's that Shikamaru has noted that, and he's looking, and is asking what's up. He says nothing. So there's obviously something there that he's noted, and we go back, and so nowadays, like I see in that case, because Katsuyu was updating everybody on what's happening in the battlefield, and she says we all ought to hurry too, and Gaara's going to transport everybody on the sand, and they're going to get caught up fully on the way as they travel. And like I did note, everybody knows that the last page with Kakashi and Obito both impaling each other. Kakashi is impaled with a weapon that Obito summoned, and Obito is impaled by Kakashi's Chidori. So, and that's how that page ended off. Very interesting chapter. Oh wow, we're up against time here. Well, that's basically it, everybody. Have a great day.